Hey everyone, it's Jim McGuinn from Teenage Kicks, and this week we're talking about the Replacements. Specifically, there is a box set called Dead Man's Pop that has come out, and this box set takes a look at the era of the Mats when they made the record Don't Tell a Soul, which is 1989. Now, the Replacements had been through a lot. They'd had the Twin Tone records in the early 1980s. They'd signed to Sire Reprise Records, one of the first indie rock bands to sign to a major label deal. They put out the albums Tim and Pleased to Meet Me, and at this point, the label was thinking, hey, are these guys ever going to become a big, huge rock band like we thought? Well, they went for it on the record Don't Tell a Soul. They actually recorded the record multiple times. They went to Bearsville in upstate New York with producer Tony Berg. It didn't work out that well. The band was a little bit falling apart at the seams, one might say, and the sessions were aborted. Then they took and moved out to LA and worked with, at the time, a young producer named Matt Wallace. Now, Matt Wallace made some mixes that the band liked, but the label was like, I don't think this is going to get on the radio. So they brought in Chris Lord-Alge, who was, and still is, a very famous mixer of records, and he has had thousands of radio hits under his name. He remixed the record, which became Don't Tell a Soul, and it did sort of work. It was the biggest selling record of the Mats' career during their lifetime, and it had the song I'll Be You on it, which was a pretty big radio hit. I remember being very proud that my band was getting played on mainstream radio finally. Now, the thing is, a lot of people that were hardcore fans of the band didn't love that record so much. Maybe part of it was the mix. Here we go, 30 years later, and Chrissy Dunlap, the wife of Slim Dunlap, the guitarist in the Replacements at that time, found some tapes in their house, including the Matt Wallace original mixes. Now, she gave those tapes to Bob Mehr, who wrote the Trouble Boys biography on the Replacements, and he worked with the band, and now we have this new box set, which has that rougher, much more Replacements feeling mix of the record, plus tons of outtakes, including a very boisterous session when Tom Waits visited the studio in LA with the Replacements, and a great live document of the band circa 1989. So we're talking about Dead Man's Pop. That's the new box set from the Replacements that really reimagines what they were like in 1989, and it sheds a little bit of a different light on some of those songs that came out on Don't Tell a Soul. All right, I'm going to try and play one of my favorite songs from Dead Man's Pop, Don't Tell a Soul. It is Talent Show. Well, in my wax up hair and my painted shoes, I got an offer you might refuse. Tonight we're gonna take a stab. Come on down, we'll grab a cab. Ain't much to look at, so close your eyes and here we go. We're playing at the talent show. Playing at the talent show. Come on along and here we go. Playing at the talent show. Check us out, here we go. Playing at the talent show. Yeah, it's the Replacements. Looking back on their old days playing at the talent show from Don't Tell a Soul here on Teenage Kicks.